Downhill lies, how to attack it and how to manage it on the golf course. Let's get it. To attack a downhill lie, there's two things you got to do. The first thing is to match your body with the slope. If we were on a flat lie, our hips would be parallel to the ground. Same thing with the downhill lie. We need to get our hips to match. So we need to lean forward. This is going to help with our swing arc. If we are leaning back and not matching it, this is going to make it really easy to bottom out early. Or if we lift up, we're going to hit the equator of the ball and just bone it way out there. And nobody wants to do that. So you got to make sure you lean with the slope. I know it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to you mentally. It doesn't always make sense to me either. But golf just doesn't make sense. We all know this. So even though you're leaning forward, you're going to think it's going to come out super low. But making solid contact is going to help you hit it higher compared to if you make some adjustments and hit it thin or a little fat. It won't come out with the right height. It won't come out with the right speed. So make sure you lean with the slope. The second thing is adjusting your ball position, because we need to retain some of the loft. Because we are leaning forward and on this downslope, the club already loses loft. So this 58 degree I have here at impact, it's going to react more like a 54 because I'm on such a steep downslope. With a wedge, you can get away with having a pretty similar ball position from normal because there's a lot of loft on the club. So I normally keep the ball centered or slightly back, so I can do that here because there's plenty of loft on the club. But if I was sitting here with a 4-iron, there's not a whole lot of loft in this club. So I need to help retain some loft on the way through. And how am I going to do this? Well, I'm just going to move the ball a little forward in my stance. So normally I might have it maybe here. So we're going to move it a little closer to the heel of my front foot. We're still going to lean with the slope and swing through to our front foot, but because the ball's a little farther forward, it's going to help us retain some of the loft. One thing to remember though, when you're hitting the shot on the course, is there's going to be a point where the slope is too steep for maybe the club that you want to hit. So if this was maybe a little steeper, or actually probably how it is now, hitting a 4-3 2-iron for me is going to be really hard to get it over this hill that's in front of me. So I might have to just take my medicine and take a little shorter club. The club that doesn't quite get high enough is going to be different for everyone. It all depends on swing speed and kind of the clubs you have. If you don't have a whole lot of swing speed, the club that's going to get high enough is going to be a lot shorter club. And if you have a lot of swing speed, then getting the ball up is going to be a lot easier. So let's move on to another hole. I'll show you how to manage the shot on the course, how to figure out your number, and then you can attack the pins from there. So here we are. We're on a downslope to a green. I got 90 yards left. How do I figure out how far I need to play this? Now I want you to remember what we were saying earlier, that when we're on a downslope, the club already has less loft. So this 58 degree is going to turn into like a 50, I want to say 56, 55 here. So you want to take that into account and play for like 5 to 8 less yards. It's going to go 5 to 8 yards farther. So for here I got 90 yards. Slightly downhill, it's called another yard. So 89 on a downslope. I'm only going to try and hit this about 83. And because we're on a downslope and the club's going to have less loft, it's going to go plenty far enough. But as I hit this, we're going to remember that we got to lean with the slope, kind of have our hips match it. And on the way through, we're going to continue to have it match it. So make sure our weight transfers forward. I know it doesn't make sense. You might think it's going to hit it really low, but we need to transfer with the slope, move with the slope to help make solid contact and actually hit it high enough. So again, 90 yards, we're playing at 83. Hit a little too hard, but if I was playing 90 yards, it would have been way over. So remember, downslope, it's going to go farther. It's a different hole, different shot, but pretty much the same number. We got 92 yards, but the difference is the green is a little uphill. So this is the calculation we're going to do to adjust this one. So 92 yards on a downslope, 5 to 8 yards. We're going to call this, we're going to play at 85. But the green is raised, so that 85, we have to adjust for whatever it is uphill. This one I'm going to say 3 to 4 yards. So let's just round up and go back to 90. So we got to make sure we account for the downslope and the uphill. So for this shot, we're going to make sure that we match our body to the slope. We want to make sure we do this so we don't hit it fat or blade it. We really don't want to blade this one because there's a nice house behind it. I'm sure the guy mowing his lawn does not want a golf ball flying through his living room. So swing through, match the slope. Again, it's a wedge, so we don't have to worry about it getting high enough. But if we were farther out, say for me 200 yards, 220 yards, there's going to be a point where the club is too long, it's not going to get high enough. So at that point, we're going to just have to take our medicine and hit a little short. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you learned anything or you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.